Radical.
In 2008, I had a choice between a PlayStation 3 and an Xbox 360. I considered both. I thought both had good qualities. The reason I was getting this system at this time was Grand Theft Auto 4. I didn't even consider a system before that. I was playing on older systems. I was, playing on PC a little bit. But Grand Theft Auto 4 was the deciding factor in me getting a console for that generation. And I went with the Xbox 360. For the main reason, it was only $250, I believe, the arcade version. Meanwhile, the PlayStation 3 was priced, believe it or not, $400 to $500 in fucking 2008. To me, that was just insane. I thought, I want to play this game. I'm damn sure not spending $400 to $500 on the PlayStation 3 to play this game, so I got an Xbox 360. And the rest is history. I fell in love with it. My favorite gaming console of all time. In fact, I never even played a Halo game until 2012. I didn't even think about Halo. But Halo is a big reason a lot of people got an original Xbox and a 360. A lot of people got 360s around the time of 2007. Me, not really much into the shooting games. I was always about, stuff like Grand Theft Auto. But that's just a brief story on why I got the Xbox 360 at that time. Just wanted to share that. Since then, I don't even know you anymore. I don't even know what an Xbox is. Hell, most people don't even know what an Xbox is. And that's coming from Microsoft. It's all over now, though. The console wars, as we know it, are over. That's a longer conversation detailing the console wars, which are like the wrestling wars, WCW between WWE. Many people believe that it's good that the console wars are over now. Many people long for the days of the console wars and people grandstanding. And not going to lie, there's an aspect to it that's really appealing. My box, yours versus your box. My sports team versus your sports team. The conflict, the competition. Much in a way I mentioned sports teams. The competition is what leads to and makes people even better, even greater, because they have something to strive for. That time, 360 versus PlayStation 3, that's the closest Microsoft ever got to actually beating Sony, and wound up the PlayStation 3 at the end with games like The Last of Us, exclusive games like The Last of Us, pushed them over the edge towards the end, and they nearly beat out in sales the 360. But that was an interesting time. That was a exciting time for a lot of people. And that led to the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, and now the PlayStation 5, the Series X. But like I said, it's over. Why is it all over? Well, you see, Microsoft has decided past couple years to start putting their games over on other systems like the PlayStation 5. First, it was Sea of Thieves. It was some other stuff. No top tier valued titles that they have are the Holy Trinity, which is Forza, Gears, and Halo. But then something strange happened. Forza 5 Horizon went over to PlayStation, became a huge hit. Huge hit. So all these Sony ponies and Xbox, they talked back and forth, and, they stood their ground. PlayStation people were like, damn, you're giving your big exclusives away to us. And then the Xbox people were like, well, damn. Apparently, you talked all this junk, and now you're eating it up. You love our games, apparently. And then Gears, also. But some people said, no way. The crown jewel of Xbox, the mascot, the Master Chief himself, no damn way Master Chief is coming over to a Sony system. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Well, it is happening. It is going to happen. And it damn sure broke the whole gaming landscape. Even though a lot of people probably could have guessed this would happen, It's still absolutely fucking shocking to see a game trailer on PlayStation's own channel, I believe. That is out pacing in views, by the way, on the Xbox channel itself, which says a whole lot about the Xbox brand. How the hell is it's a remaster game, Halo Remaster. How the hell is a Halo game coming out getting more views on a Sony YouTube channel than Xbox? That just goes to show you that there's more active PlayStation users, and there could be also the element where it's never came to the system, so there's more interest around it. Okay, I got that. I could get that. I don't think, by the way, if God of War came over to Xbox, a new God of War game, let's say, that was releasing on Xbox also, or something like that, I don't think that would get more views on an Xbox channel, but still, it might. Okay, so that's a fair point. But still, shocking to see a trailer on the Sony channel. Shocking to see that's getting so many more views there than it is for Xbox own branded channel. But just shocking in general. Now, the aftershocks will be felt all throughout the gaming landscape, because this doesn't just mean a Halo game's coming over to PlayStation. It means effectively Microsoft is 100% now a third-party publisher. There are no red lines. There are no exclusives. There is nothing that will be coming out on an Xbox or Xbox Microsoft PC that will not also be coming to Sony PlayStation going forward. That's what I believe. I believe every single game that will be coming out will eventually, if not day one, be going over to the PlayStation. Several reasons for that. One, well, I'll get into, there's a lot of Microsoft talk I have coming up. One is just the fact that Sony PlayStation sells a lot more games. So Microsoft, they want their games to sell well. So that's one reason they're putting it over on PlayStation. But like I said, with the aftershocks and the after effects is, there will be no more console wars. There will be no more people on the message boards typing crazy going, Xbox all day, PlayStation all day, because it's over. There's no more. If you are an Xbox person, for you, I feel bad for you if you base your whole life worth on a company that makes video game stuff. I mean, there's fans and then there's fanboys for PlayStation and Xbox. I feel terrible for you right now because you probably need some medication. You probably need some Prozac. You probably need some alone time because you're crying because you see the Master Chief going to another system. I would say just please get a grip and understand that gaming is for everyone. Now, part of it does suck because competition drives innovation. It makes the companies want to make the best games. I get that part of it. But the bigger scope is, the positive scope is, there's all these people that have never had an Xbox, that have always got PlayStations, and they're really happy and they're so excited. Some of them crying tears of joy that they're finally going to be able to play, which is a remaster version of arguably the best console shooter of all time, at least for its time when it released. Halo was groundbreaking for consoles. Groundbreaking. The original Halo. And on to this. A couple things about the original remaster of Halo. It's called Campaign Evolved, and it's going to be single player only, which is a bummer to a lot of people. Some people are saying, well, yeah, it's nice, but we PlayStation people are not getting the full experience. Because a lot of what makes Halo great is the multiplayer. The single player, yes, but also the multiplayer. And some people are talking about how the pricing will probably still be $70 because of the interest and so many people wanting to get a Halo on the PlayStation 5. I don't see them having it under $70. I mean, do you? Even without the multiplayer, that's a big ask. It's a remaster of a game. $70, I think that's a bit too much. But nothing shocks or surprises me right now. I saw some video of the game. Does it look good? Yeah, it looks pretty damn good. They made some changes. You can sprint now. What I particularly like from what I saw is the after effects when you throw a plasma grenade. Looks really nice. Looks really nice. There's other improvements. It's in Unreal 5, so hopefully it runs well in Unreal 5. That's one point where a lot of people were kind of down on the fact that they worry about how it will run in Unreal Engine 5. The console wars are over, though, like I said. And a lot of people point to the time in the early thousands when you started to see Sega systems on a Nintendo GameCube. Sonic games on a Nintendo GameCube. That's how it feels like for hardcore Sega fans to see Sonic on a Nintendo. And for people that are hardcore Xbots, this has got to be a little bit, you got to be in the feels for this. Especially if you are, like I said, a diehard Xbox person. And you have gotten their systems and got all their big games throughout the years. There can't help but be a feeling of betrayal from Microsoft to a lot of you. Even though, like I said, you could look at the element where, the games will still come to you if you like playing on an Xbox. It's not like it's not coming to a Series X, it will. But you feel a bit of betrayal because maybe you looked over the PlayStation 5 and you thought about getting it, but you wanted to stay loyal to your Microsoft brand and you want to get a Series X. And for your loyalty, all you really get is them putting the system on a competitor, which kind of makes the system you got a bit just less desirable. Because believe it or not, exclusives, they sell systems. There's a reason Nintendo understands this. They sell systems. But Microsoft is not much caring about selling the Series X right now. They're caring about making money. So they waved the white flag. There's no more console wars. Halo is now on a PlayStation 5. And the positives is, now you have all these people for years and years and years in the message boards going at it with their keyboards, arguing about who has the better systems. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of these same people will be meeting each other in matchmaking. There's co-op. So it's so funny. It'll be so funny to see a lot of these people that were fighting online now saying, hey, man, this game looks pretty good. You want to play co-op? So not only is the console wars over, the positive element is, even though, like I said, exclusives, they do matter, and it kind of helps sometimes to have two companies against each other because it sometimes makes better products. The positive is co-op, man. That's going to be really fun and interesting for a lot of people that have never played Halo, that wants to see what all the talk was about, and they'll get to experience that in 4-player co-op. And in the Warthog, they've modified that where 2 people can jump in the back of the Warthog. There's all these details I didn't share about the game because I just wanted to focus on the fact that, like I said, the wars are now over and it will change the landscape going forward in gaming. Some people might say, well, there's still Nintendo. Sony versus Nintendo. It's not official console war type stuff because Nintendo, they don't even release their consoles at the same time or the same year even as their competitors or whatever, because they are, for that to happen, you have to have systems release around the same time, around the same generation. Nintendo, they're not even part of a generation. Don't even debate it. They're not even in part of generations anymore. There's no generations. It's whenever they want to release systems. The console wars are 100% over. I don't want to hear any Sony versus Nintendo stuff because there are different companies releasing different type of games doing different things. Whereas Microsoft and Sony, it was the closest thing we had to console wars versus the 16-bit days in a Genesis versus Super NES, where 80 to 90% of the games were similar, the third-party games, but then you still had some exclusive games like, the Sonic games, Super Mario's and stuff like that, that were the mascot type games. And the closest thing to that generation was the Xbox versus PlayStation. Now, even though I'm telling you the console wars are over, some people will still swear by and choose a PlayStation or choose an Xbox, not for exclusive games, because, well, in the case of PlayStation, a lot of their games are coming to PC, whereas I haven't seen anything from Nintendo of note coming to PC, like Donkey Kong or Mario, so you might make an argument the last true actual gaming console is Nintendo Switches. So people might still say, well, I like the PlayStation controller versus the Xbox controller. This is why I'm sticking with PlayStation. I don't like the I don't like the off-center thumbsticks. I don't like the feel of the DualShock. Fair enough. Some people might say, you know what? I like Game Pass. I like the feeling of the Xbox ecosystem. I like things like Smart Pause, Smart Resume, whatever it's called. And they might stick with Xbox systems going forward. Fair enough. But those are just minor differences. The main reasons people got a particular system over another was, well, damn, I got to play The Last of Us. Well, damn, I got to play Halo 3. Those were the reasons, the main reasons, amongst other than pricing, people got a system. Now, in my case, it was a little different, like I said, because I got a Xbox 360 because it was over 100 less than the PlayStation 3, and I kind of liked the look of the system better, and I just wanted the cheapest way I could play Grand Theft Auto 4. But most people, they choose a system based on their exclusive library. At least they did. But now going forward, it'll be interesting to see why people choose systems. And now with a lot of Microsoft games coming to PlayStation 5, I don't see going forward any tangible reason someone would really choose a Series X over a PlayStation 5 if you care about exclusive games. If that's your main reason to get a system, which is in the past historically, that's been the main reason to get one system over the other than price, then why the hell would you get a Series X if Microsoft is waving the white flag and putting their flagship game, the Halo series, on a PlayStation 5?